This is a podcast that will entertain you.
What will it do, Obi? What will this
inform
do?
You. It will help you pass the time as you stay in house jail.
I think that's basically the most you could be looking for this, if it helps pass the time.
Hey.
And we really hope it does help. I know it's tough for a lot of people who, if you're working at home or your classes are at home, you know, it's hard for some.
It's something, right?
Yeah.
Something. So here's what's going to happen in this something. We, of course, everything's the coronavirus all the time. All corona all the time.
I don't know if it's just because it's Friday, but I felt like it was really hard to find anything else that wasn't involved around the coronavirus. It was easier earlier this week. It's now harder because I think everybody gave up by the end of the week.
It feels like, to me, I feel like there's been an ebb and flow to it. Like, we were able to find some things, but it all, on some level, relates back to it. Like, we have a story in here about a guy who got really drunk and stole some TVs. He was probably at home drinking because he wasn't working from the coronavirus.
And it wasn't at a bar. So
let's see. We stress eat some unicorn cupcakes.
That was fun.
We talk about some stuff that's on demand this weekend. We all know that Nikki is most excited.
Emma what?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Emma gosh.
Let's see. We look into ways to tell if you have a...
Emma gosh. Emma gosh. I think that's
I like
funny.
how much you like it.
I do like that. I do like that.
Can you tell if you have a fever without a thermometer?
That was a legitimate question,
It
which
was.
I think turned into not a legitimate way, but like I really wanted to know if there was a life hack sort of way to, we're supposed to be taking our temperature.
We researched it. By research, I mean Googled it.
We Googled it, and you'll see what we come up with.
Other things, just a heads up that you're only going to be able to buy 2 iPhones right now. You know what? That's it. There's more. There's chats of coffee. The best chicken fingers. Did I just say that?
Yeah, you
We
did.
got to wrap this up,
Woo!
okay? The best chicken fingers in the nation.
Oh, my gosh.
Good Lord have
They
mercy.
didn't know that you were a country boy.
Man, the stuff that comes out of my mouth.
No, it's not the stuff that was wrong. It was the sound. It was your tone. It was your accent.
I'll tell you what, today I'm getting some fingers for lunch.
Yeah, you are?
You know I am.
Well, we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend wherever you're at and how strict it is wherever you're at. We hope that you just stay safe, stay indoors, enjoy the podcast, watch a few shows, take a few naps. It's going to be fine.
Do what you do.
Exactly. And then we'll catch up next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Ryan podcast.
Did you see this, Nikki? According to Verizon, video games is what we're doing right now.
What is, like, just with our phones?
Well, you know, Verizon...
Or their phones?
Well, Verizon is not just a phone provider, but they're an internet provider
I
in a
always
lot
forget
of different
that.
places in the country. And they say that online gaming on their platforms went up 75%.
I still
this week.
think a lot of people forget that gaming counts on your phone.
It does.
And you might play a lot of games on your phone. You might be a bigger gamer than someone who has like an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch. Those are gaming too, but you also are doing it.
I know people that play games on their phone way more than I do on my PC.
But I don't know if they think it counts the same,
They
but it
don't.
does.
I can already tell you that they don't. I spend 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon, and how can I waste my life? They can spend 2 hours a day on their phone, and it's like, what? It's fine.
They don't even recognize that it is the same thing.
But I'm not bitter about it.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like it at all.
75% Steam, which is an online PC gaming platform, they have seen their highest concurrent users ever. Over 20 million people playing games on Steam at once.
Currently now, or?
Well, it happened this week. I don't know if that's, like right this moment.
Is
but
that because of everybody staying inside?
everybody's staying inside? YouTube Gaming saw a 15% increase in viewership. Twitch saw their audience go up by 10%. So apparently, video gaming is the new national pastime.
That's going to be a big thing.
Let's see. Last week, Call of Duty Warzone came out. Their first week, they had 6 million players. This week, they had 15 million players.
Oh, that is a big increase.
A lot of people giving old free-to-play Call of Duty a shot.
And remember what today is. Today's even more.
Today's Animal Crossing and Doom.
So those are big ones.
I'm getting Doom today. I got an email telling me that it might not come in. But
Didn't you get Animal Crossing also?
Animal Crossing is coming from Best Buy.
Oh, sure.
And the other is coming from Amazon. And so Best Buy, I saw that it shipped. So, like, it's legit. But the Amazon one...
We'll see what happens. Sometime this weekend, maybe
you know
Monday.
What? I've given up on caring. If it shows up later, it shows up later. Fine, whatever.
You have other things to keep you busy until it comes in.
I do. I mean, I've got the whole internet. I'll be fine. Like, but still, a little frustrated because, you paid for that.
Oh, I know, but you can't help it.
You know what? Amazon, they came out and said, like, hey, they're reworking their business model and food and supplies go first. And just to be clear, that's fine.
We're fine with that.
I'm fine with that. Like,
video games and all the other stuff we've ordered when we've been at home. If you're not online gaming, you're online ordering.
You know what?
So it's okay for that stuff to take a few extra days.
A lot of people in them warehouses working awfully stinking hard, and my cup is up to you and full of coffee, so we can all stay awake.
But feel free to text us like you might already be enjoying Animal Crossing.
Maybe you are.
If not, I'm sure that'll come sometime today.
I'm sure.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's The Riot on Radio U.
So yesterday, I got a couch, which is really weird because before the world was falling apart, I bought a couch.
Yeah, and it just took a few days to deliver.
It took them like 2 weeks to deliver it because they had to order blah, 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 whatever. So this couch was coming and it was just like, what?
Well, I mean, you're staying at home and this is fine.
You're
so,
like, hey, strangers we don't know. Come on in.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, okay. I didn't think about that. Can't they just put it on the porch and leave it there and then you bring it in?
I'm paid to have it delivered.
Well, what can you do then?
They brought it in, and I got my Clorox wipes out, wiped it down, and then sat in it. That was all right.
Is it everything you wanted it to be?
Yeah.
Yay.
I bought that sucker on clearance, blah, 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 whatever. Dude, I practically stole that couch.
Only they delivered what you stole.
Yeah, only they delivered it and stuff. But, man, isn't it weird just how differently you look at people now? I'm like, oh, here are two potential disease carriers coming to my door. Are either one of you, did you take your temperature today?
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to take your temperature.
I forgot.
I tried to use the laser thermometer. It doesn't work, and that is confirmed. Because if not, I have a very low body temperature.
Well, what did it say?
I think it was like 94. It's like, I am not that low.
Well, okay, here's the question, though. Okay, with that laser thermometer, if you guys haven't seen them, it's literally you just point a gun at your forehead, and it's supposed to give you a reading.
But it's really for food, and that is obvious.
Eric and I have those it works for industrial purposes.
True.
Like I was able to get the temperature on my brakes after I burned my hand off, things like that. So what if you did a reading on your skin, and what if that's your base temperature for your skin? So you know that like 94.2 is what always... if you're fine, but then if you have a temperature, it would go up to like 97, which is really like 100.
Sure. Like, yeah, he was just saying that it's not going to give you enough. It's not grabbing enough. So I think it'll give us a number to shoot for. But outside of that, we don't have a thermometer.
Okay. So you didn't.
Well, I don't think I have a thermometer
You're back
anywhere.
to touching your head. Come here. Mommy needs to put her. Let me put my cheek up to your forehead and see.
I guess we are not supposed to touch our face, but we're supposed to. Obi and I are in the studio working.
Everything you're doing is wrong.
I know. I hate
You're
it.
touching your face.
It's fine. We've just got to learn to retrain ourselves. But Obi and I are supposed to take our temperature before we come into work.
We are.
Because we're at work, because we can still come into work.
Made it all the way through my morning routine. Intentionally did not brush my teeth because I was like, I got to get downstairs and take my temperature.
Yeah.
Got down there right before I got the thermometer out.
You did?
I put it on the thing and then went over and got a cup of ice water and took my Prozac.
Yeah.
I took that and then I was like, oh my gosh!
I ruined it!
No, I can't take my temperature!
Because it's going to be too cold.
Got it!
You should have brought it with you.
I should have. Then we could have shared the thermometer. Nobody said not to do that.
I think that is not encouraged.
Listen, it was not anywhere in the the thing.
John also used one of the laser thermometers. He just texted. He said it was also 94.
Nikki,
That
look.
seems to be the common temperature.
Well, you know what? Look
I'm
at
good.
that. You're fine. So, dang it. All right. Well, do you want to run home and get that, or?
No, I mean, we're doing the show.
You mean it's too late?
I think it's too late. We tried
Okay.
our best, and we're going to try better on Monday.
Yeah.
Isn't there one in the first aid kit here? Did anybody look in that?
No.
You don't think there's a thermometer
I
in
feel
there?
like if I open that thing, I'd get in trouble. I like there'd be an email. Who opened the first aid
Why
kit?
don't we look up online? Is there some sort of hack? You know, like a
Temperature
thermometer
hack?
Yeah. You know, like use this light bulb, do this, do that.
You know what? Okay.
A little olive oil
Take your temperature.
without a thermometer.
Okay.
There must be something.
Without. All right. I'll tell you what. You hold that thought.
All right, you come back and tell
Let me see what I can come up with.
Like, can we use the microwave or what can we do? The fridge?
Oh my gosh. Well, you need things that you get an app. Like it would involve boiling water.
We
Probably.
got tools in the back.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, how do I take Nikki's temperature even though we don't have a thermometer?
I don't know if there's any hack on that. I don't think there is, but or at least not that we wouldn't have that stuff to use.
You know. Well, what do you think? What do you imagine it is?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
We're supposed to take our temperature before we
Well, one of the things that we
come into
should,
work.
One of the things that we should do is we can watch for other symptoms of a fever.
Sure.
So some of the other symptoms include a sore neck, vomiting, diarrhea, chills. What?
Thank you for sharing all this. Well, I think we knew.
You know what? Do you want
Do
to
I wanna
talk
learn or
about
not?
medicine or not?
Fine.
You wouldn't last a day in med school.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, la, 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 la. I'm not hearing it.
We can't use those words.
No one wants to hear those words.
Okay, headache, warm forehead, chills, aching muscles, lethargy, greater irritability than usual. And I'll just tell you, if you're normally irritable, this can sometimes be hard to spot.
That's a hard one to figure out. And it's not like you should even ask around because I don't know if you're going to get the answer you want to hear.
Right. So, okay, there's that. Those are some symptoms. Then the other thing that they say you can do, they say it's the least accurate, but it might give you an idea, is you use the, not your palm, the back of your hand.
Yeah, the back of your hand.
And you put it on their forehead or on their neck. And they say one of the things you want to do is actually touch your own skin first so that you have an idea of what normal skin should feel like.
But
and then you judge them.
I think that's not the suggested way to do it now because you're not supposed to touch each other.
Well, I mean, if you're in the house together.
Yeah, then you're fine.
It's a thing. But so I figure, like, if we're in the studio together, you know, it's no big
Turn
deal.
the other cheek.
It's no big deal.
I think we need to find a thermometer on Monday when we come in next time.
Didn't
That's
you
what
see,
I think we need to.
Didn't you see the email from Michael? There are
Our
no
boss?
thermometers.
No, there must be somewhere.
They no longer exist.
Somewhere there must be. Were we hoarding those?
Yes.
Did we need those? Because now
Yes.
some people actually, along with when we had the toilet paper problem, we actually still needed those.
You know, it's funny. I found 3 thermometers last night looking for them. I don't know if any of them actually work.
Yeah. Or since when have you had them and like how do you disinfect that thing? Because you're going to need to.
Like whatever, like, no, I didn't end up with COVID-19, but I do have some
You
fungus
ushered in
they haven't
something else?
identified.
No, you don't want to.
It's fine.
Well, if you're supposed to, like if you go out, you're supposed to be taking your temperature just to be smart about it.
Yeah. Now, I need to, something I was going to bring up, but I want you to, like, promise me you're not going to get mad.
Pinky promise?
You have seemed more irritable today than usual.
Well, I think we're all just tired.
Okay.
And I have allergies.
See?
Allergies are terrible.
Getting
and they,
defensive.
Okay, yeah. Just want to let you know. My allergies are feeling uncomfortable today.
I feel that. I definitely took something because I was just like, I woke up and I was like, it's fine. I just have a head that's 3 sizes larger than normal.
And you just don't want to be all worried because you're like,
No big deal.
This is what we get every spring, guys. We get this stuff every time.
Holy
every
crap.
spring, fall, when the temperature goes, up a little higher, back down, up, back down. Like that just seems to be the situation.
We're going to make it, guys.
We are. Are we glad again it's Friday?
I don't have a thermometer. If you guys do, maybe you could Don't forget to take your temperature. There. We're just going to say that. And we're just going to stop right there. Take your temperature before you leave.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Dude, you're gonna have to pardon a little slice of honesty this morning, but Apple's made a little announcement they want us to know about, and that is you're only going to be allowed to buy 2 of the same iPhones at the same time due to shortages.
Like right now or when they come out new?
2 iPhones. Who has money for 2 iPhones?
I think people buy them.
I couldn't even buy one new iPhone. I had to buy a used one.
They buy them, I think, to then resell them.
All right, everybody.
It's investing a little bit more in the beginning in hopes that you make some on the way out.
Fort Knox just called. You can only have 2 bars of gold. All right? Limit 2 bars of gold per customer.
Are you saying that the Apple announcement is a bit tone deaf to the real people?
You know what, Nikki? There are people in this world that are going to go, I was about to buy 5 for my family of 5. Like, well, hang on. I left the money. It's in the change thing there. Just pull out a few $1,000 bills and we'll go in and get them. It's no big deal.
I guess some people go in and they buy a few. I don't know why. I don't know who. I don't know what.
I just love it. I love it. Somewhere at Apple, they're like, we're going to have to limit the number of purchases.
And they feel the need to tell everybody.
So
it must be a thing.
I mean, are they trying to create a rush? We got to get at the Apple store right away. We got to get in there. We're going to get us a couple of iPhones.
Maybe that counts worldwide, where in some areas it's not out or not available, harder to find, and then you're buying it to, like I said, sell it another way.
Well, it's U.S. customers that can only buy 2. I don't know about other countries. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's a matter of they're going for more somewhere else and you're selling them for a margin. I don't know.
It's usually why people do something, so I'm going to go with that. And you're not allowed to, just 2.
Only 2.
Only 2.
I'll tell you what. I made it through the week fine, but we
that
finally.
One got you?
This was my tipping
was
point.
It.
This
was
the
it.
one. Like, it was the piece of news I just couldn't handle. How can we do this?
All right. Well, they might not have realized it comes off that way.
It's kind of like the Gal Gadot Imagine video.
You're just the one with all the celebrities singing that.
You're just like, what?
They're trying to inspire you, Obi.
Right.
With their mini, maybe they're the ones that need to hear that we're only going to be able to buy the 2 iPhones.
They're the ones that are crushed by the 2
this
iPhone announcement. Yeah. I'm living in a different world.
It's a different week.
It's fine.
You're doing great, though.
I'm great. Aren't
you
great?
With your old phone.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Carl just texted and he said, "Are you talking about my Trump bucks for the new video card?"
That's not what we're saying.
He says, technically that helps my mental health in a roundabout way.
Does someone want a new video card for their computer?
That's what Carl says.
Thanks for texting Carl.
That's what Carl says. So the Riot has not been gone for any of the coronavirus pandemic.
No, we're still in the studio. We're still here.
But, celebrities that are important have had to take breaks from their shows. But Conan O'Brien says he's coming back on Monday, Nikki.
Oh, to do it in the studio?
Oh, no.
Oh, to do it.
He's doing it from home.
That seems to be, Jimmy Fallon's doing it from home.
Is he?
Yeah, he's done
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, he's done a couple of episodes there, and I don't think Ellen has done like a show, but they're doing stuff on their Instagram and Facebook.
Sure.
Like talking to celebrities and stuff, so kind of filling the time with it. But that seems to be the thing to do.
So he says that basically he's going to be doing it on his iPhone. There will be no audience, and he's going to be doing guest interviews that they have filmed with a video chat.
Okay.
So, all right. It says that about 75 people will be working from home to help put that show together.
Wow, that many for that setup? Oh, that is a shame. Sorry, guys, that hurts us. To have 75 people when you're doing it at home just on your phone.
I'm just going to give you a heads up.
Don't let it bother you. Don't let it sink in.
There's fundraising support and management. That's Michael. And then there's Chris, that if something breaks, and then it's Nikki and Obadiah. And that's it.
Other DJs, but
No. I just mean for our show.
Yeah, for our show, that's it.
Hudson is not making the riot happen.
Well,
which is not to take away from his show.
He has not Hudson, but I'm sure Conan has writers. If you think about the crew, the lighting crew, the filming, probably even craft services, for crying out loud.
They're like, we got to make sure he's got, his green jelly beans, or else he can't go on for the show.
That is not self-isolating right there. That's not. That's bringing a lot of people in.
So he's not going to come into contact with those people. Though I am sure at some point he probably had them come in and set some things up.
Yeah, Aaron just texted. Colbert's done that too.
Yeah.
So it's, doing the show from home has become a late night show thing.
It's interesting. I have some friends that they're actually starting up kind of like their own local internet talk show where they're like, every night at 7 o'clock, we do 10 minutes with the idea of, instead of trying to be like nationwide, they're literally just trying to hit their hometown, which I thought that was a good idea. Like, I don't know how
Does
it's
it
going.
also take 75 people?
Well, you know what? They actually
that really hurts us in the industry to hear that.
They asked me for some pointers.
Yeah.
And
well, then you count as one.
What I was thinking about as I was telling them was just like, okay, let's talk about scale. Like, how many, like, what do you envision here? And I was thinking, do you need like one extra person or maybe two?
Let's be realistic here.
What do you guys need? Like 75, 100 people to pull this off? Oh my God.
Well, I wonder then when these shows do come back, because traditionally when you'd have such a big produced show like late night shows are, then now you can scale it back and you know how far back you can go. And they are probably getting pretty good views on it. People are staying at home. They're watching TV more. So then when you come back and you used to have this big grand scale production, will it change that production size when you get back?
I would say this. I think that maybe it will. And as a consumer and even as a producer, to me, it makes me realize, what do people actually want out of your show?
Yeah.
I mean, jokes are good, whatever. I really tune in for personality. That's what draws me to almost anything is personality. Even if it's a written and portrayed personality in a film, that's what draws me. And I actually think that's what draws most people. They like to feel a connection with the people that they are watching on TV or whatever. And there's an element of like, if Conan does well with this, he actually has a chance to excel because this is potentially a chance for him to really draw in people. And think about this. Nobody watches TV anymore, except now we're all stuck inside.
Watching TV. And there's no sports. So
I saw where in France, their ratings numbers, they had their was it France or Spain? They had their highest TV ratings of all time. Like, more things were watched in the last week, like concurrently, than ever before. So if they do it right, and they have 75 people to get it right.
I'm sure Conan will be just fine.
75 people to just be who you are.
At home, casual, Yeah. I haven't seen his show in a while, but maybe I'll try to catch an episode, or at least a bit of it.
I'd be curious to see more than anything just what it looks like. Rusty Ship, show me how to live.
I'm sure it'll look just fine.
I'm sure it does.
And then you'll connect with him because he's at home and you're at home.
Oh, look, we're the same. We're the same. It's fine.
Yeah, it seems like. You want some more coffee?
You know what?
You got to go get it yourself.
I'll have craft services bring it in.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Here we are. Emma's out today for streaming. Come on, Nikki.
Yes. Welcome to the new way we're watching theater movies.
Nikki's excited.
By not going to the theater.
Come on.
So, yeah, Emma, Universal today's the first day for their stuff. They had a couple of movies that were out in theaters. Some of the country movie theaters are closed. Like, you just can't. So
most of them are.
Most of them are. So, at this point, there's certain movies that you can now spend like $20 on to rent for the 48 hours. And Emma was one of them.
They are. So, you've got Emma. There's 4 Universal ones. The Hunt, The Invisible Man. Something.
And then on Tuesday, the Ben Affleck movie that came out.
Yes.
That one's now going to do the same thing.
And so will Birds of Prey.
Yeah. And then, that one is just coming out.
Oh, that's just coming out in general.
Early.
So you can buy it, but they're pushing it out early. You're
Correct.
right.
All
You're
the
right.
other stuff is just video on demand for it. And then there's a animated Trolls movie that comes out in April, and that's also doing the $20 thing.
Yeah. Okay. Another movie on that list, Radio Youth throwback artist Jeremy Camp.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The biggest arm muscles you've ever seen in person. That guy, he has a movie that's based on his life story, and that movie is coming to video on demand next week.
I was wondering, because that came out like maybe 2 weekends ago or just right at the start of everything.
Yeah, right. Like it had one weekend because that weekend it almost beat out the Pixar movie. But it was like at the last minute, what's the Pixar one called? Beyond, Above, Onward,
maybe.
Like it ended up beating it out just barely at the box office that weekend.
But anything that's come out around that time hasn't really had its full run in the theaters.
Right.
So that's why they're doing the $20 thing at home.
Yeah. So that one's called I Still Believe. That's next Friday. And then today, the only thing Nikki really cares about
is the show and you guys. So there's one thing that's a package deal.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to watch Emma all weekend long because I'd already seen it in theaters, but I'm going to keep watching it.
And why not?
Now that I know all the amazing parts, I can just go right to it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yay.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You're going to have a great weekend, staying indoors, staying inside with that.
With Emma. No problem.
Just glad I have it.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
When you think of essential employees during a public crisis, who do you think about? First responders? Yep.
Medical workers.
Medical workers. I saw that in Minnesota, maybe? I can't remember which state it was. They're declaring that people that work at grocery stores are essential workers.
They were trying to make sure that got included for those, because during that sort of setup, you can still go to the grocery store when you need to, but there has to be food in place. So.
Now, Nikki, I'm going to ask you what you think of GameStop.
Oh, I saw this. This does not look good, GameStop. We're not supposed to do this.
Do you consider GameStop to
an
be
essential? No, I do not.
And I quote, essential retail?
I think this came out because they wanted to make that known in case places started to do an order and they couldn't be open today.
Right.
Because today's Doom and Animal Crossing Day. So I think they wanted to make sure people realized no matter what, they were going to stay open today.
Here is okay, well, let's see. I believe Vice may have actually been the first one to break the story, but I've seen it on Kotaku and a bunch of other gaming blogs.
Yeah.
And a bunch of employees basically reached out and they're like, here, this is what corporate is telling us. They actually emailed managers and gave them letters that they were supposed to present to law enforcement if they came by to try to close the store.
Yeah.
And so GameStop has issued the following statement to Vice. They say, while GameStop is best known as a provider of gaming and home entertainment systems, we also offer a wide variety of products and devices that are important to facilitate remote work, distance learning, and virtual connectivity.
No way. They did not say that.
So
no, they don't.
They say that
they're essential.
Yeah, because they do sell used tablets.
It doesn't count. That's not why they're doing that. The essential workers is also supposed to be for the safety of your employees. Some places do need to stay open. Then you have to protect your employees if that's the case of it, or realize who can go home and work from there and who can't. GameStop is known for their poor treatment of their employees.
Yes.
It's a very well-known thing. Poor treatment of their managers and all that stuff.
Well,
so this is them not wanting to close down.
Nikki, I don't know if that's true or not, because can I read to you some more things that they said?
What did they say?
Let me just right here. It says, the health and safety of our employees and customers is of utmost importance. Right there.
No, it's not.
Black and white.
Well, then why are you making them come in?
They're saying black and white right here. It's of the utmost importance.
The last time I went into the GameStop, the one employee that was in the whole store also didn't want to be there, and that was before all this stuff. They are not treated well.
We are complying with all state, county, city, and local ordinances, and we will continue to adjust to any future developments.
That's poor GameStop.
Sounds like they've got SCMODs. State, County, Municipal Offender Data System.
Is that what it sounds
SCMODs.
like? That's just mean. You have to protect your employees, and they are not essential to what's going on.
Well, the important thing is you got your copy of Animal Crossing, right?
Well, yeah, but who ordered it from GameStop?
Somebody.
Someone did?
I mean, I didn't, but somebody.
Okay, someone did.
Somebody out there.
That's bad. That's so bad.
It really is. Bad luck, guys.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
So, okay, GameStop is essential. We have learned this in the last 5 minutes.
I think, and hopefully you know we're teasing on that, but yes, we were talking about that a second ago.
Well, I mean, are we teasing? Because according to them,
they're saying they're essential and they should stay open.
Nikki, they facilitate distance learning.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Who are you to say?
Well, I've been in there. We can tell. Are you spilling your stuff or what are you doing?
Like my coffee cup is leaking. I think it's.
Do you have a hole in it?
I think it might be leaking out of the bottom.
Is it an essential hole or what is it?
Let me tell you what. I'll tell you right now. I'll write you a disclaimer. The coffee industry is essential.
That is essential. That should not have any problems whatsoever.
It is essential. And, I was thinking about, I have to look at where it was, but there was some big collision where, where is this? In, let's see, Marion, but what state's it in? I'm not sure. But a truck, there was an accident and it spilled Folgers all over the road.
Like the coffee cans
or
the grounds?
Like Folgers crystals or grounds or whatever. And I was like, good, it's trash anyway. And then...
What a bad attitude to have. It's still coffee, though.
But that's what got me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What if we ran out of coffee? I would be out there licking the pavement. Like, please.
You'd be pouring water on it on a hot day.
It's good.
It's great. It's not that bad.
It's good. I like it. Folgers is good.
I haven't seen that there's been canned goods have been hard to, to find. The toilet paper situation.
Hey, I bought some green beans this week. It was a 150-ounce can.
You bought a can of green beans?
It was all they had. And I looked. I can open that and split it up, and I'll have 11 days of green beans. But after that, you can't eat them.
I totally love that so much. I've never had green beans from a can, but now we're going to.
Oh, really?
No, I never have.
Oh, man, when I was a kid, we had canned green beans all the time.
They actually say it has more, it's better for you than sometimes fresh or frozen because it just seals it in. Same thing with frozen vegetables are better.
Yeah, sure. Well, no frozen vegetables here. I mean, sometimes, but now I got a can.
But coffee has seemed to be okay so far, but you never know.
You never know. And so there I am. I'm looking at this photo right now, and I'm out there just like, you know what?
You judged him too harshly before, but if that was all that was left, you'd be pretty grateful.
Oh, I'd drink it. I would. I would.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Melissa just texted, said they're trying to limit the coffee at her workplace cafeteria, and that did not go over well.
So that didn't go over well. Now there's one person standing there serving the self-serve coffee.
They got to bring a worker out to serve it.
Man,
you know things are in trouble then.
They would be mad at me. They'd be like, you can't have any more.
You already had your coffee limit.
Shut up, you communist. Give me my coffee.
Now, I don't know if that's how you act if you want to keep your job.
It's true. But I did see that Walmart's hiring, so.
Go over there. Then you get more coffee.
No, then I'm stocking the coffee, so I got a little stash in the back.
Yeah, Walmart did send out the news that is 150,000 jobs that they're looking to fill.
You know I'll tell you what, Nikki, just hold on to that in just a minute.
You have the full details?
We'll tell you who's hiring, because there are definitely some people that are hiring. And I'll just tell you, there's a little something extra in it for you if you make sure a certain somebody gets some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, The riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
If you didn't hear it, last night the state of California issued a stay at home or at your place of residence order. And I was looking through the order. You can read the whole thing if you want, but right now I'm just on the .ca.gov website for the state of California. This goes into effect. It actually went into effect last night at 11:30 p.m.
with no end date as of right now.
Yeah, and let's be clear. We're talking about the state of California. If you're like, are they talking about California?
Say it a few more times just in case.
So
we have listeners from around the world. So
Radio
it's different.
U on the central coast of California.
There it is.
Okay? But I thought it was interesting to get a look at what they're doing because a lot of people feel like many places in the United States will be undergoing this. So what are open? Gas stations remain open. Pharmacies remain open. Mm-hmm. Grocery stores, farm markets, food banks, convenience stores, and takeout and delivery restaurants remain open. Banks remain open.
But I see that, at least in our area, they're closing a lot of the lobbies. So as long as you just drive through, but you don't go in.
Right, so you could do the drive-through. And again, it's going to depend
on the place where you're at.
Laundromats and laundry services remain open. Things that are closed. Any kind of an entertainment venue, bar, nightclub, dine-in restaurants.
Anything fun is closed.
Gyms and fitness studios, public events and gatherings, convention centers. Where does this apply? The entire state of California.
That's a big one.
It is. Mm-hmm. Like that. It's really something. So they're asking you. What amazes me is they're not asking. It says here ordering. So that's a lot of us in the civilian world are not familiar with that term. That's where somebody tells you what to do and you have to do it.
You're supposed to. But I feel like the last few days, everybody's been encouraged to follow this, and not everybody's been trying as hard. And so that just keeps leading to these harsher rules that then the rest of us who have been following are now supposed to go and follow more.
Yes.
I mean, like for us, we go to work. That's it. That's about it. Then you go back home and you stay there.
And that's basically what they're asking is for that. And so... you know what? As of right now, the riot will continue, and we've already been talking about.
We have a backup plan if needed.
If we had to do it from home, could we do it from home? And the answer is, yeah, we totally could. So, if there's some concern there, we just want you to know that the riot's going to be around for a while at least.
I think it's a good call going into the weekend because that seems to be the hard time for a lot of places. You have to stay home this weekend,
man. Like,
even if you're like, well, I'm going to go to a friend's house. No, you're still supposed to stay at home for this weekend.
That's a whole thing. They're trying to tell people like, hey, the whole point is not going to a friend's house. Mm-hmm. Like, they want you to stay in place because you don't want to make your friend sick. You don't want them to make you sick.
If you want to go and stay with a friend, but then you have to stay during the...
You got to stay.
You got to stay during the whole time. If you don't want to do it by yourself, that's understandable, but you don't go back and forth.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. I totally hear it, but... Nikki and I are going to be in this little room till it's over.
But just remember, we got to bring in a thermometer next time we come into this room.
Well, I can't use your thermometer.
Well, no, we each bring our own in.
We need a laser.
We need a laser thermometer, but they're all sold out around our area.
You know what, Nikki? I know a guy.
I don't want that one. I need it unopened.
I know a guy. He deals in medical supplies, if you know what I mean.
I need it completely for sure unopened. And I know that sometimes we're like, look, it's unopened, but we've all like resealed it.
Put a little extra tape on it.
This has to be brand new, and that's the only way we'll feel comfortable.
Brand new.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
Did you see what Patrick just texted us?
I didn't.
He found the glitter Oreos.
What?
Thanks for sending us a picture of it.
Trolls World Tour only in theaters. And by theaters, they mean on demand.
Well, yeah, that was before everything. That packaging was done long ago, before all this stuff. So it is a pink inside to the Oreo. It's a normal Oreo taste.
Yeah.
And it's got the vanilla
Which, by the way,
part.
Can we just say that, Nikki, Oreos aren't normal. They're spectacular.
Just when you look at it, you think it'll be like a strawberry or something because it's pink. And then it's got glitter in it. But Patrick's point is true. Is that really the glitter? Because it's not as obvious as like the packaging would make you think. But still looks good. We'd take it. We'd be fine with it.
You know what we should do? We should have a little glitter ourselves this morning. You know, right over here we have
all these cereals we've not.
Well, I see out of the corner of my eye a unicorn cupcake.
Yeah, let's have one. You know what? Let's just eat one this morning.
You want to?
Yeah, might as well.
Well,
we're in here. We're just gonna eat that.
We're breaking out the supplies.
Yeah, we have these unicorn Hostess cupcakes. Thank you, Patrick, for leading us.
You did this, Patrick.
Deciding
this.
Celebrate along with you and have on this Friday morning a little Hostess cupcake.
Have yourself a cupcake, Nikki.
Thanks.
Tell your friends.
I will have this.
Don't you right now feel morale just going up?
Is this what's going to make the day better?
This is it.
They're saying we're not supposed to stress eat, but that everybody's stress eating.
I already know I am.
Does this count as stress eating? You sure?
It's for the show.
It's for the show.
The unicorn cupcake.
How's the icing? It feels a little.
It's hard, but you know what? These kind of cupcakes, the icing on the top is always hard.
Is it? So it's not like it's a fresh thing.
It's a thing.
Well. Just fine. The Hostess cupcake. It's got vanilla cupcake with cream icing, and that's about it.
It doesn't taste any different.
No, it doesn't. Well,
aside from the little crunch of the sprinkles that are on top.
It might not supposed to taste different. It's just, decoration.
Let me tell you what it is.
What? We're just eating to eat.
They put a unicorn on it. Mm-hmm. So kids will be like, Mommy, can't we have the unicorn one?
Well, it worked. I mean, we bought it. Like, can't we have the unicorn one?
That's because you and I both have the maturity. It's just slightly above that of small children.
It's enough to still fall for that packaging. This is what we do.
You're looking at me, right?
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm full of regret?
You're not. That was a good choice for today.
That's right.
So for the rest of the Radio U staff who are coming in,
there are unicorn cupcakes
that we'll put on the break room table. Those are pretty good.
And they're special, just like you.
So thanks again to Patrick for sending us. He got the glitter Oreos that are out now.
We'll be on the lookout.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
You know what I've had twice since this whole thing has started? Cane's chicken tenders, Raising Cane's chicken tenders. I do love them.
Well, you mean since like the ban on eating in, but just drive through, or
I don't know. Whatever we're calling this new thing.
This new thing.
I've lost track of, I don't know what to call it because every day they change it.
You just go home. That's it. The thing where you're not driving around, but you should just go home.
Yeah, well, I've hit the drive-through twice.
Yeah, and that's all right.
Oh, it's not wrong, Nikki.
Okay, do you feel like they're smaller, though? I had it the other week, and they were strangely small.
You think so?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure. I meant to ask you.
That's a fair question because here's what I've noticed. Either, we mentioned stress eating earlier.
We're getting bigger.
Right. That's what I actually...
Because we're stress eating our way through this thing.
Because I did a box combo, which is 4 chicken fingers, and I get, instead of coleslaw, I get extra fries. So that's like 4 fingers and all those fries.
Yeah.
And I never finish it. And both times I've eaten the entire thing.
You'll have to look next time because I noticed, I was like, wow, these things, is this what we're doing now? Is this the new size?
Like here with my meat paw, I reach over and grab it.
I can't get it with my big hands. This tiny
small
chicken
compared
finger.
to my huge mouth.
I don't know. I just wanted to ask you if you noticed that. They were unusually small.
Well,
and
I'm telling
you. It was
you.
both mine and Eric's order, so I thought, well, this is maybe the new size.
I felt like, the proof is in the eating. I ate an entire box combo, and I never finished one of those.
If anybody else notices, let me know.
Even the bread, I was like, it's gone. And I don't know. But I will tell you that Thrillist, the website, they did a national chicken finger competition, they say.
Oh, they did?
Raising Cane's right at the top.
What else is in there then?
Popeyes at number 2.
For chicken fingers.
Chicken fingers. Culver's at 3, Chick-fil-A at 4, and Long John Silver's at 5.
What is this? What is this?
Are you serious? A chicken plank?
Now, hush puppies maybe, but not a chicken plank.
I don't know.
This feels too like chicken finger corporate. You need to go and find your local chicken finger place. And you're like, I don't know what it is. You got to get online and start searching for it.
I don't know.
Because those are the places that'll need your support when all this, stuff, when you can go back in and eat at restaurants. That's the places. These other places have drive-thrus. They'll be fine.
That's actually true. There's probably
you need
something to
the
that.
one places that were so small and so special that you only went there because there was no other thing.
Oh man, you know what though? Can you go for some chicken fingers right now?
Yeah. Big sauce thing,
it helped
too.
me.
Big sauce dunker.
It helped me wash down this unicorn cupcake I had.
Do you think we are stress eating? Like, should we be where no one's going to the gym? We're not working out. We're eating a lot.
I'll tell you what. It's Friday. I hit the elliptical and I've run twice. But no, I am not getting the same amount of exercise I would normally get. That's for darn sure. But
I just want us to notice this. You know, sometimes they say you're just supposed to be aware.
I know I'm getting fatter. It's happening.
Just to be aware that we're letting things go that we didn't before.
And you know what? I don't even care. That's the problem.
That's true,
right
especially when
there.
you're at home and you're like, you've been at home, it's 3 days later, and you're just eating all your snacks.
You start finding wrappers for stuff you didn't even know you ate. I don't remember eating this.
You bought what you thought would be a few weeks worth of supplies for you, but you ate all the snack food.
Man, I need some award-winning chicken fingers here.
It's good. I don't know about this list. Those aren't maybe the most impressive ones.
What's the matter with you?
What?
Raisin Canes are so good.
No, I'm saying the whole list.
Yeah, well,
you
they
put
faltered
Long
once
John
you.
Silver's
okay.
on the list.
I
Doesn't
admit,
that just cancel the whole list?
Once they got to number 5, they lost their way.
I can't trust them for the rest of their choices based off of that one.
All right. Well, you know what? I feel like the top 4 are solid choices. Chick-fil-A, but I mean, who can afford to eat those?
The chicken fingers? I don't know if I've ever had their chicken fingers.
I have, and it's like you get 2 of them for $18, but you can trust that it's good chicken.
You can. But I don't know, Raisin Canes, are we paying for that? Now they're smaller.
Yeah, well, they've just reduced quantity, so I'm going to have to go with the big box combo. Or no, the Caniac. 6 fingers. What does it tell you that I know the names of the combos?
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
So yesterday we were talking about the fact that the EU was requesting that Netflix pull back on its streaming quantities.
They were saying that there's such a demand now on the Netflix and streaming services because, you know, a lot of people now at this point around the world.
Yes.
But they're specifically hitting their areas of saying that there's so many people streaming that it's taxing the internet.
Well, guess what?
Which sounds like a, like it's not true. Like, how is it possible to tax the internet? But
right.
they say it actually is.
Yeah, well, guess what? They agreed.
They agreed?
Yeah, so
they're actually doing it?
Netflix is pulling back. Now, I don't know.
Not here necessarily?
No, this is in the EU. So I don't know if it's one of those things where they're pulling all the way back because the request was, hey, we want you to only stream standard definition content. So I don't know if that's what they're doing, but they've definitely cut back, and YouTube has also agreed to do so.
In that area?
Yeah, to cut back on the amount of bandwidth.
So here, which Obi mentioned yesterday, like if you're watching something on Netflix, you're not watching it from the same source as someone in Europe is.
You're not.
So what they're doing there is not necessarily something that's going on here, though you might notice some delay or your speed decreasing at this point just because there's so many more people at home using it. But yeah, we're not using the same setup.
I have definitely noticed my at-home internet, the bandwidth itself is slower because last weekend, man, I have installed Windows 3 times in the last week on all these different computers. So I've had to do some downloading, and that includes, you know, the video games I'm currently in the middle of playing. I had to re-download them. Those are big downloads, you know, anywhere from 60 to 100 gigabyte.
But you knew the time it should take.
Yes. And they definitely, I just went in and watched the bandwidth, and the bandwidth was roughly half of what I would normally expect to get out of my internet service. And, you know, that's anecdotal. Who the heck knows? But I definitely feel like it's been anecdotal but consistent that my downloads have been slower this week.
It's not like Netflix is doing anything here, so though we're hearing that the EU is doing that,
right.
But you might still notice your stuff being slower.
That's one of those things that, I mean, I get it. We think of the internet as being this thing that exists out in the air, but it's not. Like a data packet is a physical thing. I mean, it exists in space. It's electrical, but you understand what I mean. Like it has to go, and it requires infrastructure in order for that to work. So it's an odd thing. Very odd. But yeah, no more 4K YouTube for you, Europe.
Yeah,
For
not
now.
here for now, over there until that situation changes.
Man, I'm going home and turning all the streams on.
Now you're supposed to help so we don't get to that point where they say for us to start doing that.
We need to cut down?
Yeah, well, you just need to be wise about it.
Man, I'm a crack wise about it. Don't you worry. I got things to say.
Don't abuse it.
Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Nikki, we've all made mistakes in life. Mm-hmm. We've all done things we wish we hadn't done. Sometimes you don't remember doing something that you regret now. And there is a guy in New Mexico who says that he woke up after a night of some very heavy drinking.
What'd he do?
Well, he found 2 TVs that weren't his
Did he
in
go
his
in?
house.
Did he? He stole them during the night? Oh, no.
He got so drunk and stole the TVs.
Where'd he steal them from? Like break into people's houses or from like the bar? Where they don't know?
So apparently, yeah, it must have been somebody's house. He says, oh my gosh. He said, according to him, he says that the only thing that he can remember doing is knocking on someone's door and nobody answered. And he says he remembers opening the door and that's it.
And so he just stole what was in there?
2 days later, he went in and returned the items, but he still is arrested for.
Oh, he got charged?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we don't do that. Maybe he can learn a lesson or creative sentencing.
Well, I mean, here's the tough one is like, yeah, that's up to the judge.
Yeah.
That's, Nikki, that's how government works.
I know.
It's the job of the executive branch, which the police fall under, to enforce the law.
Sure.
But it is up to the judicial branch to interpret and apply the law.
And I mean, he had it in him. Like it just came out when he was drinking.
But don't you think we all have it in us?
Probably. Well, I guess like maybe just not as bad as others. You don't act out on it.
Well, because you're not drunk like that.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be. He should now know that he should not go that far or even chance it if it's in him to steal things and to break into people's houses.
Nikki, sometimes when we cast off restraint,
You never know what you'll do.
who knows what you'll do? Like, I might steal this computer monitor right here. Just rip it off the thing and take
I've
it
seen
home.
other videos where like people have gone into other houses thinking it was theirs because they were so drunk,
Yeah.
and they just slept off on the couch or something, which is scary on its own. Like to wake up and think someone's in your home.
Dude.
But this person was stealing stuff.
My uncle's roommate from college, I know him pretty well, and he told me a story one time about how he's a pastor, and he was a guest speaker at this church on a Sunday night. So they gave him, it was like out of town, and he was going to stay with some people overnight and then leave. So he got directions, went to their house, went in. They said, just make yourself at home, like grab anything you want from the fridge, whatever. He went there, made himself a sandwich, had something to eat, and was sitting down watching TV. And these people walked in, and it was like,
Who are you?
Who
You got
are
the
you?
wrong house?
he was in the wrong house.
Uh-oh. So I guess what you're saying is you can make that mistake no matter how much you've been drinking.
Luckily for him, it turned out that those people knew the other people. So it was just like,
it was okay.
yeah, it ended up not being that big of a deal, but he was definitely in the wrong house.
Oh,
too.
it's something to be aware of.
Lucky he didn't get shot.
Just be careful.
Wow, that's wild, right?
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
The medical term for getting your stomach pumped is gastric lavage.